So in this video here, we're going to take a look at a pretty cool project where we're going to do car part segmentation with the new YOLO11 model. So we have a dataset from RoboFlow, and then we can go in and fine tune our own YOLO11 model on these car parts that we're going to segment out. So let's just jump straight into the Ultralytics documentation. If we go inside the datasets view and we go inside segmentation, all these datasets are directly available on the Ultralytics. It will download automatically, take care of everything. If you want to use some of them for fine-tuning your own models and just playing around with it, you can get everything up and running in just a few commands or a few lines of code. So I'm basically just going to walk you through it. We also have this car part segmentation with the YOLO11 model, but now we're also going to do it with the YOLO11 model, and then you can basically just compare the results, see the differences and so on. So let's just take a look at this dataset from the RoboFlow universe with this car part segmentation dataset. It's actually like some pretty cool classes, and it's pretty cool that we can actually go in and segment out every single pixel in the frame that we're interested in for these specific parts of a car, and even also be able to tell the differences even though they look very similar. So we have our training set, we have around 3,100 images, and then we have around 300 images in our test set and 400 images in our validation set. Here you can see all the classes. So we have like back bumper, back door, back glass, back left door, both like front, back, the mirrors, hood, windscreen, all of that is basically segmented out, even the wheels and so on. So if you're looking into like generating insurance reports and so on, could be before and after, you want to take a look at different car parts, are the damage and so on, generate reports. So those are some pretty cool use cases that you can use this model for, and basically just for computer vision and AI. So this is the data YAML file. You can see the path to our training set, also how you can download it. So you can just grab this URL, throw it into your browser, it's going to download to your computer. But if you're just using this YAML file directly with Ultralytics, it's going to download automatically as well if you're using a Google Colab notebook or pretty much whatever you're using. This is how we can use it both in Python and also from the command line. So very easy to get up and running. Here we can see some sample images where we're basically just segmenting out all these car parts. Here we see we have the front bumper, wheel, front glass, left mirror, left door, and so on. So these are all the parts which are being segmented out and that we want to fine tune our YOLO11 model on. So this is very cool. We have a lot of data augmentation like cars on the sides, rotates, all types of cars. So it's not just like one car brand, different types of cars, SUVs, like compact cars and so on, probably even some trucks as well. So you can see some more examples here. This is pretty cool. Let's just jump straight into a Google Colab notebook and see how it works. We're just going to go with the command line, but we also have like tons of other videos like covering the Python and so on. You just copy paste this and run it inside a Google Colab notebook. So let me just go into this one here. We can set out the runtime. You can use the free GPU resources available in here. So I'm just going to connect to an 800 GPU. Right now we can see it connecting. And first of all, we need to go in and pip install Ultralytics. So if you're running into any errors or anything, it might be because you don't have the latest version of Ultralytics, and also it is only available for a new YOLO11 model. So this is pretty much it. We just need to pip install this. Rest is taken care of in a Jupyter notebook or like in a Google Colab notebook. But if you're using it in your own local environment, you definitely need to install all this PyTorch, Torch, and all of that. But then you're pretty much good to go. Inside Google Colab notebook, we need the exclamation mark to go in and run these commands. Right now, let's just train it for 30 epochs. Let's go with the nano model. And the only thing that we need to change is -sec. If you just want to do object detection, you just specify it like this, post estimation, but again, then we need the correct data format. Here we just have segmentation. So it's trained for 30 epochs. The image size, you can also play around with the batch size if you're running out of GPU memory, but that's pretty much it. We specified a data YAML file, so it's going to download the dataset automatically. It will know all the classes and so on, and also where to pull the training and the validation training split from. So it's now just run it here. Let's see how I start the training. First of all, it's going to load in the data, download the model, download the dataset. All of it will be taken care of automatically. So no images were found, which means that it's basically just going to download it, loading in 8,000 images. There we go. First of all, we don't want to use weights and biases for now to visualize the results. We also have videos covering that, so definitely check that out on the YouTube channel or in the Ultralytics documentation. So now it's just scanning through the data set, so the training set here, and then it will also do it for the validation set, and also use this augmentations for data augmentation on top of our data set. So it's going to use that as default, and then it's going to set up the optimizer, start the training. So now we can see that we have epoch 1 out of 30. We can see all the bulk losses, segmentation losses, class losses. Once it's done with a single epoch, we will also get the mean error position, all of those metrics on our validation set. So we have 200 iterations or like 200 batches that we need to pass through for each epoch. So it will probably take 20 minutes, half an hour to train this model, but this is really fast in a Google Colab notebook, but I'm also training on an 800 GPU. So this is the first epoch. It's almost done training for the first one, and then it's going to run validation. There we go, we have 13 batches for validation. We get our mean error position, which is very low to start with now. And then it's basically just going to fine tune our model for 30 epochs. We can take a look at the results, but this is how easy it is to go in and take a data set. We use this card part. It can be used for a ton of different computer vision applications and projects. You can use it out of the box for your own projects. You can build nice applications on top of it. Probably the best one I can come up with is car insurance. So like you've probably rented a car before. Car insurance, you want to generate a before and after reports. You can use some of these models to extract that information. You can go in and do further processing if there's any like damages, larger damages, scratches, and so on. We can now see that the model is done training for these card part segmentation. If you just go a bit further up to the top, we see that it starts out with a mean error position on the validation set at around 0.15, so that's a very low mean error position. And then we can see that over the number of epochs, the model basically just becomes better and better at doing these predictions and doing instant segmentation. We can also see that the segmentation loss is also decreasing. The class losses are decreasing, so that's all pretty good. We can also see the precision recall. They're both increasing, so that's also good. We ideally want them close to 1 or ideally 1. If you just go all the way down to the bottom, we can see it pretty much completed it. And here in 20 minutes, we end up with a pretty decent accuracy, around 0.70 in the mean error position. Again, we have a ton of classes. It's a very complex data set, and we only train it for 30 epochs. If we train it for 50, 100 epochs, we might get better results or even try out some of the other models. This is only the nano version of it, so we'll get better results if we take some of the other ones. We can take a look at all the validations here for each individual class to see if a model struggles on some specific classes and so on. We can see the mean error position, precision recalls, and all of that, the number of instances, and also images that we have for each of these classes. If we go inside our run directory over here to the left, we have our segment and we have our train. Then we can see all the different curves and so on. We can extract that, use that to see if our model is good. We can take a look at our confusion matrix. Ideally, we want all the values to be in the diagonal, so it looks fairly good. Just from this, we can also see where our model acts like struggles. If we want to go in and do something about that, like clean up our data set and so on, that's very good, and we can always do retraining. Here we have the results. So this is pretty much just all the training graphs. We can see the model hasn't really converged yet, so it would probably been better to train it for 30 epochs or just keep on training until these losses, they're converging, and also the mean error position. So we want them pretty much just to be steady at the exact same value, which means that they have converged. If you go down and take a look at one of the validation batches, so these are images that we're just passing through the model. It has never seen those during the training, and just to see how it actually does at predicting on new images. It looks pretty good. We have like back bumper, front bumper. We have like front left light, front light, hood, front glass, and so on. It looks pretty cool. We also have a back door, front door. It looks pretty much in line here. Pretty good accuracy. We probably missed some detections. I can see we missed some wheels and so on. But again, we might need to train this model for longer. This is pretty cool. Can be used in tons of different applications and projects. And you saw how easy it is to train. You can also just go over and extract the weights. So just take the best trained model, download it, use it in your own applications and projects. I hope you learned a ton this video here. Definitely go ahead and check out the other videos that we have here on the channel. And then I'll just see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy training.